Good morning, I am Adam Harris, and this is The Day Ahead. Don't forget to click subscribe below to receive daily market analysis videos and important alerts. On the economic calendar for today, we have UK CPI data out at 9:30 a.m. and US CPI data out at 1:30 p.m. Then in the currencies, the US dollar is expected to weaken in the shorter term. In the commodities, the metals look very much intent on heading upwards. And in the global indices and equities in focus, the bulls are calmly climbing to new highs. You could jump to any chapter by clicking on the time link in the description below. In the currency markets and starting off with the US dollar index, pretty much across most of the charts, the behavior seems to be relatively normal. We've got the US dollar index actually having that reaction against the 97 level, currently retracing back down towards the 96 level. And so for today, that would be a natural behavior for it to head back down into towards the center for that. We can also see the euro rising, strengthening against the US dollar. You can see it having broken below 1.13, currently producing a swing low. So let's see if it can follow through. At least for today, I'm expecting to head a little bit higher, and then for it to reassess if that US dollar is going to continue to strengthen or the euro is going to continue to weaken. Cable as well. Sort of turning around off that 50 moving average and just above that 1.29 level again, so expecting it to try and stay above that for today at least. Then we've got EURUSD continuing to head lower, so that trade unfolding pretty much as planned, so that's quite nice and satisfying. We've got Aussie CAD, where Aussie CAD is now encountering without a doubt a level of support, so just going to place that in for the records there. So that one having headed off from this bearish rejection candle here, but still finding some support there, and we'll see how that ultimately unfolds. But it looks as though it may head a little bit higher. First, CAD Swissy also taken off nicely. That's very nice. It not breaking through that level of support, but actually maintaining its uptrend. Looking nice to just continuing on there. There's no other setups that are necessarily unfolding just yet. Swissy Yen, still waiting for this to ultimately produce to break through this level. So it's still got some bullish divergence there, so no change there. Aussie Kiwi satisfying again overnight. Kiwi rate news coming out, and so having some big moves on New Zealand dollar, and we've actually managed to break through, so that's quite good. We're now on our way down. Although I didn't take an entry on the breakthrough, I'll be looking for retracements on a lower time frame to continue that move to the downside. And we can see here a potential swing low happening with the Aussie dollar heading back up, ultimately over the longer term expecting it to break over this very strong bullish divergence here. So for the moment, certainly leaning towards this breaking to the upside, and we'll take it from there. Looking at the commodities on the move, we're starting off with gold here. We're still finding support at that 302 level as well as in the moving averages, producing another bullish candle yesterday. Not very, very bullish, but certainly more bullish than bearish. We can see if we do break this previous high here, we'll then maintain high lows and resume that uptrend. So it's essentially just consolidating, ideally ahead of a move up. Same thing with silver as well, coming back down, finding some, looking for potential support here. So looking to see if we do, again, I want to break that previous high and have that shift from a sideways market into an uptrend. And palladium continuing to have a good week, so pulling back, very nice normal standard behavior, pulls back towards this level of resistance and produces a bullish candle. We've broken above the high already, and so basically rejecting that level as resistance and basically finding support, continuing on upwards. That looks good, and my expectation is to see that continue to rise up to the next level of resistance. We've also got oil weekly. It's actually, you can see here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks now in its 6th week, not having, although it's broken the low of last week, and usually that would continue, and we'll have to see where it is by Friday. It's still within 2 levels of support and resistance within this area, and still trying to decide if it's going to ultimately head down or up. So we're just sitting within a range, and we'll just there's nothing to trade there, so just keep an eye on that, seeing how that unfolds over the next few days. Then having a look at the global indices, and again I say normal behavior, price pulling back, producing bullish candles and continuing to head higher. So for today, there doesn't really appear to be anything that's looking to stop that. We can actually see, despite the fears of another potential government shutdown, US government shutdown, price action is just continuing to tick higher. So there are some good entry opportunities on the lower time frames, but US indices all trading and trending upwards very smoothly, very nicely. We've got some fresh highs. This uptrend still intact, starting to flatten out on those momentum indicators, but still very happy with that for the moment. We've got the UK 100 coming up to its previous highs. Again, it would have made a lot more sense for it to do that 382 retracement. So I'm going to remove the Fibonacci level retracement measurement once we break this high. Then I'll take it out. Germany, the DAX as well. which was lagging a little, has now produced a very bullish candle. So if we break the previous highs, we'll actually go into a weekly uptrend, and officially that will be the last of the lot, really showing its bullishness. Hang Seng continuing to trend up very, very nicely, and this is the most bullish it has been in many, many, many months, and it's looking very nice and healthy. Its behavior is just very steady and stable. We've got the ASX 200 encountering resistance there at 6100, so likely to consolidate and then potentially break out, but expecting that to follow suit and be as bullish as the rest of them. And lastly for today, looking at those equities in focus. So Facebook not having taken off just yet, but looking at how bullish the rest of the fangs are, my expectation is to see that actually continue upwards. Now Apple making up for lost time and producing another bullish candle in off the moving averages, so I expect that to break and continue on upwards today, maintaining that trend. And Amazon, nicely enough, has now come back into the fold, also producing the potential there for a swing low. So I'll be very encouraged once we break the high of this previous candle and break through this level of resistance and head on there. But my expectation is that we will. Netflix looking very good, now attempting to break through its recent level of resistance, and so I expect to see that follow through today if it can, but it's right at that level, so expecting that to push on through. Then we've also got, let's just have a look here on my list. So Google just confirming that it's found support. They're producing that swing low, expecting that to hit a little bit higher. Microsoft is actually building up a nice little breakout pattern, so it makes a lot of sense to me that we will see this. Actually, this is quite a nice bullish breakout pattern. Looking to see that price breakthrough and head on upwards towards 112, 113. Boston Scientific continuing to head to fresh highs, so no problem there, steady as she goes. And so at some point below, I would, and I expect it to come back and test this level for support, and that will be a re-entry opportunity. MACD momentum indicators looking nice and healthy. And then on to the more bearish on my list, EasyJet. Still within this range, so once we break out through that, we'll have that confirmation. This is the most bearish of the ones here, really. Most of these have actually managed to stay a little bit higher over the recent days, for example, but EasyJet looking to see it break out of that range to the upside. But you can see here we're still actually hitting up the last 3 days on Barclays and for the rest of these as well. Encouraging to see those also starting to climb. So really here we very much got steady, calm, bullish behavior, and my expectation is to see that continue today. On that note, ladies and gents, I want to wish you a wonderful day. If it's trending, I'll be there.
Just a reminder to hit the subscribe button. If you want to stay abreast of what's happening in the market, I'll be producing and bringing you the latest in the markets every morning in a freshly produced video.